I proposed to a woman after knowing her for only 20 days. And somehow, she said yes. We met at a rooftop restaurant in Seattle where I actually worked. My shift had ended, but I stayed late, waiting for my friend Manuel to finish so he could drive me home. That's when I saw Amelia sitting alone at the bar. She looked rich, elegant, completely out of my league. At the time, I was emotionally destroyed after my girlfriend of 10 years cheated on me and left me for someone else. I wasn't looking for love. I just wanted to feel like someone else for one night. So when my friend handed me an expensive bottle of leftover wine and told me to go talk to her, I did. And that one decision changed everything. Amelia told me her father was a billionaire, that she lived off a trust fund, that she came from old money. So for some stupid reason, I lied too. I told her I worked in finance, that I'd made millions day trading, that my parents left me a huge inheritance. None of it was true. But pretending to be wealthy made me forget how broken I felt inside. Then somehow things escalated insanely fast. We spent every day together, talked for hours every night. And after only 20 days, I proposed. The wedding was planned only 1 month later at her father's luxury cabin in the woods. But the closer the wedding got, the more guilty I felt. Every guest there believed I was some rich finance genius. There were bloggers filming everything, photographers everywhere. And the night before the wedding, I finally realized something horrible. I wasn't marrying Amelia because I loved her. I was marrying her because I was lonely. So on the morning of the wedding, I pulled her aside and confessed everything. I told her I wasn't rich, that my entire life story was fake, that I worked at a restaurant, and worst of all, that I didn't know if I truly loved her. I expected her to scream, cry, maybe slap me. Instead, she calmly looked at me and said,
"I don't care. I still want to marry you."
At first, I felt relieved. But then I realized something weird. She never asked why I lied. Never asked what I actually did for work. Nothing. Still, the wedding continued. Then, right before the ceremony, my best man Manuel pulled me aside looking terrified. Apparently, he hooked up with one of the wedding bloggers the night before, and she told him the headline they planned to publish. The billionaire's daughter who had it all, and the ordinary man who stole her heart. That's when something clicked in my head. Amelia knew. She had known the entire time I wasn't rich. Suddenly, I started remembering all the weird things she never questioned. Why she never cared to see my apartment. Why she never questioned my simple clothes. Why money never seemed to matter to her at all. And standing at the altar, while she read emotional vows about loving me for who I truly was, I finally understood. We had both been pretending. Then, in the middle of the ceremony, a man suddenly burst through the doors yelling, "Stop the wedding!" Everyone gasped. Apparently, it was Amelia's ex-boyfriend. He literally dropped to one knee in the aisle begging for her back, apologizing for cheating on her and humiliating her publicly after their breakup. The whole thing felt unreal. But while everyone stared at him, I stared at Amelia, because I needed to know the truth. "Did you pretend too?" I asked her quietly. And she couldn't answer. Then suddenly security rushed into the room. But they didn't go after the ex-boyfriend. They came straight for me. 2 guards grabbed my arms while others grabbed Manuel. Amelia suddenly panicked and shouted,
"You don't have to take him."
But security dragged us outside and forced us to leave the property completely. And the last thing I saw before the doors shut was Amelia looking at me like she desperately wanted to explain something. Later that night, I finally found out the truth. There was never any billionaire father, no trust fund, no luxury lifestyle. Amelia had lied about everything too. Apparently, after her ex cheated on her publicly, she became obsessed with finding real love. So she created this fake rich girl identity to test whether men loved her for her money or for who she was. Meaning, for 20 days, we were both lying to each other. Both pretending to be rich. Both trying to escape heartbreak. And somehow, despite all the lies, we accidentally fell in love for real.